Welcome to another edition of Focus for Education. In this show, we're going to talk about a little bit of a different focus for education. We're all through the holidays now, and many of us are beginning to think about how do we get out of these winter doldrums and maybe think about a warm vacation spot or our seed catalogs. But if you've got a senior in high school, your focus is very different. If you're that senior, you're focused on the mail every day and am I getting a thick envelope? If you're the parent of that senior, you're thinking about, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for all of this? I was supposed to save for that over the last 17 or 18 years. So what we'd like to talk about in this show is an organization that has been very active in our community, but also very quiet in the methods of their activity, and learn a little bit about Dollars for Scholars. And joining us in this show is Gayle Esterly. Gayle is a very well-known figure around our school community, from the School to Career program, where I guess everybody really sees you day to day, but as with so many members of the community, volunteer in an awful lot of ways, right?
A little bit.
A little bit, probably I think more than a little bit. But thank you for joining us for this show.
Well, happy to be here.
I guess you're a trustee of the Dollars for Scholars organization.
That's right.
And past president.
Yes.
So you've got a lot of roles with us. Perhaps you could tell our viewers a little bit about the organization itself before we get into the details locally about how did Dollars for Scholars get started, and just what is it? What's its goals and missions?
Dollars for Scholars has a great story. It was started in 1958 by Dr. Irving Fradkin in Fall River, Massachusetts. And Dr. Fradkin had a great belief in education as being vital to the country. He's still around, he's still with us, and he's inspiring to listen to. But his idea was that education was vital. And if everyone, and so getting young people to college was important. And his belief, he said, well, what if everyone in our town gave $1? And we could do great things with that. And so he literally went door to door and asked for $1 from the people in Fall River, Massachusetts, and he raised a lot of money, and they created scholarships, and that idea took off. And now there are Dollars for Scholars chapters all over the country. They're raising thousands and thousands of dollars and putting many, many children through, helping them reach their dreams and go on to college. And so I think that is very much what attracted me to this organization, and why most people who get involved, really stay with it. It's very grassroots. It still has its same mission. And that belief in education is important, and we need to help our young people is what it's all about.
Great. So it is a national organization with local chapters, so while it is very different, that is somewhat like maybe the PTA that people might be more familiar with. It is virtually all volunteers, as I understand.
All the local chapters are pretty much all volunteers. There are some large chapters that maybe have paid staff, but most chapters are small, like we are. They're volunteer, they're very local. We have a lot of, chapters have a lot of latitude in how they reach their goals for their local community. And Londonderry's Dollars for Scholars chapter was founded in 1980, so we're just completing our 20th year, and we're affiliated with a national organization. The Citizen Scholarship Foundation is located in Minnesota. We're also affiliated with recently formed New England Dollars for Scholars, which is the New England states. And that was founded in '97 to better support local chapters like us and give us help with fundraising and meeting each other and doing the work that we do.
Great. I know several of the financial magazines have written up Dollars for Scholars as one of the better charities, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the ways we raise money here in the community. But one of the things that really struck me from talking to you and others is the money is raised here. Everyone in Londonderry is a volunteer, and the entire cost of belonging to the national organization is $100.
Yeah, it's about $100.
So it is not, there is not money being siphoned off as a percentage or anything else. It is a very frugal organization that...
We're very frugal.
That's great. In terms of the money, we'll get in a while to how we get to how we raise some of that money in this community. But who is eligible?
Each local chapter decides who will get the money, and in Londonderry, our organization has decided that graduating seniors are the ones who are eligible. And that can change from community to community and community needs. Some chapters give money to, you know, recent graduates, and then you can come back another year and so on. But we've decided that we can't be all things to all people, and so the money that we raise goes to graduating seniors pursuing post-secondary education. Most of them happen to be four-year students going on to a four-year degree, but it doesn't have to be. You know, if you're going on to technical school, certainly you can apply as well.
And if, as a parent of a graduating senior, what do I need to do, and what does my student need to do to apply?
Right. Well, that's important. Londonderry is blessed in having a lot of civic organizations who give out scholarship money. We're not the only one, but we work with the guidance department at Londonderry High School. They put together a local scholarship packet, and students, that's made available to students in the school. They have to fill it out, and they have to indicate which awards they're applying for. And ours is one of them. We've, in the past years, given out between 20 and 25 awards every year. We're one of the larger organizations in town. And, but students have to indicate their interest. And they have to meet the criteria. Each scholarship has each scholarship in town has its own criteria. The criteria for Dollars for Scholars is, obviously you have to be a good student. You have to, we're looking for students who have had a history of community service, volunteering. If students hold a job and participate in sports, that's certainly considered. Financial need is obviously a factor because we're trying to extend opportunities for kids. And the other piece of it is that they need to provide, students need to provide their expected family contribution as reported on the FAFSA form, because we want to make sure that students who are applying, that there is a need, or that we're aware of the need factor.
You mentioned the FAFSA form, and for the parents that haven't done that yet, it's a form you'll get to know and love for 4 years, because
right.
It's the government form that, if you haven't seen it yet, that scholarship programs use, all of your schools use for
right.
For their
to qualify for
programs,
federal aid.
exactly,
right.
for federal aid. And I think one of the things that I remember from my days on the board and being involved a little bit on the perimeter of what you do, that I think is really important and an excellent thing that the community does. When all of this information comes in through the guidance department, the
right.
students are given a number,
right.
and when the committees evaluate the students based on their academics, their need, and their community service that they've done, all that's attached to that student is a number. It's not a name. So no one on the committee sees anything about Mary Smith or Johnny Jones, right?
I think one of the things that we as an organization feel is very important. We want to be as fair and impartial as we possibly can. Therefore, we have some guidelines, some ethical guidelines that we follow. And one of them is that if you have a student who is a senior, you can't participate. And the people who work, and there are several of us who work in the school, I will not participate in the selection of any of those students. I think that would be, I probably wouldn't know who they were anyway, but just in case. The information all gets translated into figures, and then it's the numbers that get reported, so no names are attached, no identity in any way. And then there is a scholarship committee which meets, reviews the information, and makes its selections based on whatever funds we have available. Awards in Londonderry typically are between $250 and $1,000, and again, that's in keeping with the guidelines that the national organization has given us. And part of the reason for that is that sometimes colleges start taking away aid.
If there's too much.
If there's too much, what happens is, and this is something that parents need to be aware of, and students as well, is that some schools, you need to check very carefully what their policy is. Student bringing in aid from, say, their local community may have their scholarships from the college taken away, and so in essence, the college is subsidizing. They're saying, okay, well, we're not going to give you that money because you're bringing your own.
Some of your own.
And what that does, in effect, is it does not benefit the student. I'd like to mention to you that another part of the national organization is something called Collegiate Partners, and that's another arm. There are three facets of the National Dollars for Scholars, and the Collegiate Partner Program is a collection of colleges throughout the country which have a written agreement with Dollars for Scholars that they not take away from a student's scholarship funds that the college may have provided. They will take first from any unmet need. They will then reduce any loans the student has, and so therefore you get more bang for your buck. We have in the guidance department and on there is a national website for Dollars for Scholars, a list of who the collegiate partners are, and you can check and see what their policies are. But it's a terrific benefit for kids, and any students who are looking into colleges should maybe look at whether it's a collegiate partner school.
There's more opportunity if there's great.
In addition to that, not taking money away from students, certain colleges, and there are a good number in New England, will actually match a Dollars for Scholars award. So if we give a $500 award, that school will kick in another $500
on top. Wow.
Yeah. So there, the interest is in expanding opportunities for students. College is very, very expensive, and particularly in the Northeast, I think it's one of the most expensive places to go to school. And the organization really seeks to broaden opportunities for students, not just the top kids, but kids who really are going to benefit from going on.
The chance to go.
Yeah, the
That's
chance
great.
to go. It's a terrific organization.
You do all of this in a very quiet way, but there are three real events throughout the year. One of them coming up very quickly here.
Right.
In fact, two of them are really springtime events. One that followed by the other, and then one in the fall. Could you tell us a little bit about the first one that's coming up?
Well, the first one coming up pretty soon, is our annual phone-a-thon, and that is you're going to get a phone call. We call residents in Londonderry. And basically, that is our student volunteers, our student support from the high school. They volunteer their time for an evening or more. They get a little competitive, so sometimes they come back for more. And they call people in the community asking for pledges, basically. And Schaefer Mortgage donates their space and their phones, and we take over their office in the evenings. And students will call members of the community, identify themselves as student volunteers for Dollars for Scholars, and ask for a contribution. Maybe I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, but Dollars for Scholars is a nonprofit, registered nonprofit, 501c3. And so contributions are tax deductible.
Okay,
so that's an important thing to know. And the kids really have a good time with it. They're so excited when someone says yes. So even if it's, most people feel, $20 is enough. But they make a lot of phone calls, and they have goals, and they get a little competitive, but it's a great way to raise money. Again, getting back to Dr. Fradkin, dollars for scholars. Every dollar counts, and when you get a community together, it has a huge impact.
Just to reinforce, because I have a little bit of experience with this part of it. Now we all get so many calls from telemarketers and people representing organizations. This is not an outside organization making the call.
No,
These are
no.
Londonderry
Londonderry
high school
kids,
students that are making the calls.
They're supervised by trustees who are there every night with them. We give them a script, and so obviously they know what to say. There is, I think that's one of the things I can't emphasize enough. It's totally volunteer. We do what we do because we believe in the cause. And
you get the call, as I recall. You make your pledge. The next night they write out a little like a little invoice to you, and it comes in the mail, and you send it back.
Right.
And again, everything is done locally, and all the money stays here locally.
That's right. And it's a fun event. Marjorie Dykstra, another person that I'm sure you know well, has taken charge of that for years, and she and other trustees are there every night and supervising the kids and
making it happen.
Making it happen,
right.
Yeah. It's a good event.
Okay. So that's kind of the end of January, beginning of February. Those calls come in.
Right.
Then the next event comes right on the heels of that, right in March.
In March, yes, in March, and we have a few more people. Again, we're not a big organization. We have about 15 trustees, adult trustees, and then selected other people who would like to get involved with us on a project basis. But it's a small organization, a few kids. But the other big event, and that's been going on for years, and again very successfully, is our dinner auction on March 24th at Promises to Keep. And it's a Saturday night. We have a lot of things going on with that. It's a wonderful meal. We sell raffle tickets. We have silent auction items. We have a live auction as well. Great prizes and trips and products and sports tickets and
it's an amazing event.
You've been there,
I've
and
been
I know
there
you've
for
spent a couple
years
of
and
dollars
years and years, and we have spent a couple of dollars, and I think they've been well spent. But it is amazing. Again, all of the folks that are working in this organization behind the scenes are very quiet about what they do. But when you come to this event and you see the things that are there for the silent auction or for the draws that they have, there are weekend getaways. There are tickets to excellent tickets to sporting events, football games, basketball, baseball. I mean, it's incredible the way they go out and strong arm all of these donors, because it's just an incredible collection of prizes.
I have to say that most of the prizes that we have, most of the auction items are donated, again, by the local community or members in the community. And so if anyone who is listening has a product or a service that they would like to offer for auction, I'm sure that we would be happy to talk with them, and they could contact me, or they could contact Marilyn Bookman or any one of the trustees, and I'm sure that we would be happy to take their donation. We're looking for items big and small, so it's just a lot of fun.
So whether you have a product or whether you have a service, if you've got a professional service that you could donate or anything that would be of value.
The things that are some of the really good things are lawn service. We like to have that. We do have our students in the past. I don't know if they're quite gotten themselves organized. Have done a spring cleanup, and they donate their time. And I'll tell you that's quite a valuable service. We have greens fees. you know, all kinds of things like that. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. You can get some good deals.
Dinner has always been a fun event, and if you're familiar with Promises to Keep, it is a pretty big dining hall, about 240, 250 seats, I think, and it pretty well sells out. So if we've sparked your interest at all, check it out early, because it is a great take, and it does
Right.
sell out pretty quickly. The last major event for your fundraising is kind of a new event. I guess we've had
Yes,
2 years now in the fall.
Right.
Tell us a
Right.
little bit about
Okay.
the golf event.
I'm on the periphery of that,
Okay.
but we've had, some of our trustees have felt, I have to give credit to Bruce Burgess for really, you know, pushing this idea, and he's done a lot of work, as well as a number of other people. Our golf outing, and the purpose behind the golf outing, that's in September. It's the second Wednesday in September, if you're planning that far ahead.
Okay.
At Casa Conway. And the purpose of that, the golf outing, is to raise funds that will be used to grow an endowment, because every year we raise money and we give it away. But really the best way, as most other organizations have done, is to build endowment and make sure that you've got long-term funds. We work really hard to raise the money that we do. But the benefit of the golf outing is for to create an endowment. And again, we solicit area businesses. We have a number of teams who play. It's a nice meal. We have lots of prizes, and it's a lot of fun. But that one is dedicated, again, those are funds that we
Go to the endowments.
yeah, they go toward endowment, right. And that's new, and that's been very successful. It's growing every year, you know, we're always looking for golfers and sponsors and all of that. And again, you can contact the organization if you want more information about it, or would like to sponsor or be involved.
It's a great day regardless of the weather.
Oh,
It was
it's
a little
great. Yeah, it's a
little drizzly this year on
yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah, it was,
but nonetheless, it is again a great event, and a lot of good business sponsors that have helped with that. We've talked about what the organization is. We've named a few of the folks that have in the past always stayed in the background, and many others that we haven't named tonight that we should tip the hat to. We've talked about how to sign up and register if you're a student. We've talked about some of the fundraising.
Right.
Year-round, you meet once a month, right?
Yes, we meet once a month. We meet at the high school. We don't meet in the summertime. We meet the second Tuesday of the month at the high school. We have our annual meeting, public, you know, anyone who would like to come, that's in June. Once we give the scholarships out, which we do at baccalaureate, we have a reception for the recipients and their families, and that's always fun, because it's the first time anyone in our organization really puts a face to the students. We get to meet the students and congratulate them on their achievements and find out where they're off to college, and that's a lot of fun. And so it's a great organization. If people are interested in getting involved or knowing more, I'm sure that they would be happy to speak with them. And
so they could call you.
They could call me. They could call
the,
Cindy. They could call.
Okay.
We'll put some names up and phone numbers if anyone would like to talk to us.
Great, and they could come to the meetings if they want to learn more
Right.
firsthand and see what's going on.
And we're always looking for worker bees, and and we always need to replenish our trustees. One of the things that is interesting about the organization is once you get involved, you tend to stay involved. I think I've lost track of how long I've been involved, and I'm not one of the long-term people, and there are others who've been involved much longer than I have. I've been involved at least 10 years, and many have been involved longer.
Great.
It's a good organization.
Well, Gayle, I guess I would like to thank all of the members through you for all the work that you do for 20 or more students every year for the last 20 years, and it's gotten bigger and bigger, and through the generosity of the businesses and the citizens of the community. So I think we're beginning to see that vision of Dollars for
Right,
Scholars
right.
coming
It's
in
a-
from
it's-
all over the
it's a-
community.
It's a good vision, and Londonderry is a very generous community, and we haven't actually been turned down ever. It's nice to be able to talk about it. Obviously, I get really excited about the organization, so thanks for letting me come.
I hope you have found tonight's show to be interesting and brought you yet a different focus for education. Thanks for watching.